Hey, is this thing on? Can you hear me? Are you sure? Okay, alright, good. Just couldn't really tell. Okay, so for real, long form videos have been kind of a dud lately. I don't know what's up, but I've been wanting to do this little coffee talk and just go over some recent favorites. We have Prime Days coming up. There's a lot of exciting things happening. We are midsummer, finally in July, and this is when like the dog days of summer kind of start, especially for us here in the South where it is just so stinking hot. But I've had some questions recently about the makeup products that I use, some different things, and I just wanted to sit down and talk through it like with an old friend, you know? Because truth be told, my long form videos have been struggling lately with getting seen, with getting engagement, but the truth is, the ones who are watching and the ones who are commenting are most often the ones who have been here for the long haul. I've been doing YouTube for over 2 years now, and I have such a consistent, authentic, and reliable community of supporters and friends here that I can't stop doing long form. Like, shorts are doing great, long form struggling, but I'm still going to keep showing up here because I absolutely love this space. I love this community, and I'm just really grateful for you all is what I'm trying to tell you. So let's just sit back, have some coffee, and talk through some things. I guess let's talk business since we're already here. So you've probably heard me mention lately a few times since like the end of the last school year that I am stepping into being a full-time content creator. I will not be going back to teaching preschool in the fall since my oldest is going to big school. More on that later, but I will be driving her to school, picking her up from school. My youngest, Annie, will still be going to half-day preschool. So I'll kind of be like a taxi service. There'll be a lot of like stop and goes throughout the day. It won't be a huge chunk of uninterrupted time. But the time that I do have here and there, I want to commit to seeing what kind of potential this content creation gig has. I've started kind of this summer really leaning into that. My girls are older, so they're more independent. They can play together and not need me for quite as much. So I've been able to commit a lot of time to research, to development, to a lot of different things. And how's that going, you ask? It's slow growth for sure, but I've definitely had some victories and reassurances that I trust are from the Lord that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be in this season of our life. So I've taken on more platforms. I'm doing this YouTube channel and then our A Piece of Eden YouTube channel, which focuses on homesteading and outdoor living. I have really stepped into being very committed and diligent with TikTok and Pinterest. I'm trying to be more consistent with my blog, and then I'm doing Instagram ish, and then Facebook I restrict to only like family and very close friends, and then I just do like a monthly photo dump from our lives on there. I don't post a whole bunch on Facebook, but I do just like to keep people in our lives up to date on what's going on in our lives. So I only post once a month on Facebook most of the time, and like really TikTok and YouTube are the ones taking up the most time, and then I try to be consistent with the blog and Pinterest as well. Instagram, I've had a whole thing with Instagram over the last few years. I am on my third personal Instagram account. Third time's the charm, right? At least that's the goal. If you're not following me on these places, go ahead. I would love to have you everywhere that I am, and us get to do all kinds of life together because I share different things on all the different platforms. So like I said, there are small reassurances along the way. For example, on TikTok, I have been given the opportunity that I'm really excited about. It's not been launched or announced yet, but I've been given the opportunity to do a collaboration with some other TikTok creators, and I cannot wait to share more of that because I think it's going to be so encouraging, so much from the Lord. There are 4 of us that are collaborating on this, and I'm just so honored that I got asked to be a part of it, because whenever I look around the table of women that are in this, it's like, wow, I am so underqualified, and I'm just so lucky to be here. Like I said, YouTube shorts are doing really well. I've gotten a lot of growth there, and it's really neat to see that like as popular as TikTok is amongst especially like people in my community, YouTube is still the like global breadwinner, if you will. Like I can post similar things on both, and on TikTok it might be a flop, but then over here it's like it still gets plenty of views on the short side. So it's just really neat, and I'm encouraged the more that I post there, the more that I see the value in it, and the more that I want to continue creating content. I also qualified for the pilot program on TikTok, so now I'm able to be an affiliate over there. But then like right at the same time, I qualified to be an Amazon influencer. So I now have a storefront on Amazon as well, which is going to be super helpful in a few minutes when we get into talking about Prime deals. I have been trying to qualify for both of those things, the TikTok creator pilot program and Amazon influencer program, for like a year, and it was like back to back right at the same time they both went through. So I just trust that, like, even though things are slow growth, they are growing at the end of the day, and things are happening, and I'm really thankful. I'm really looking forward to what the Lord has in store there, and it's just giving me the fire that I need to keep going. I'm really excited about what's happening, because even though it is summer and both of my girls are home and here, there, and everywhere needing me as I'm doing things, I also am not having to like drop everything and then go do car rider line pickup and drop off and all that. So it's a good feeling, summer is. Speaking of, I think I have one coming to see me. Good morning. How you feeling? Yeah. Got some soap? Oh. Okay, so back to Prime deals. The camper portion on my storefront is what has the most deals. And when I say deals, I don't mean like $2 off. I'm talking like an actual decent price cut. But with that being said, it's still early. So some Prime deals may not be coming out until the day of, and I don't get early information on that. So these are just what I'm seeing so far. If I see some really good ones, then I'll try to do either shorts or a live that share that as the week progresses. For right now, what I'm seeing, the top deals are on my camper board, the Top Lucky knife set. I cannot recommend this thing enough. Originally it was around $30. These knives are so good, so good. And guys, people are proud of their knife sets. Like a knife block these days is kind of outrageous. This is $30, and right now it's marked down to $22.49. So definitely recommend that. We use this set in our camper, which is why it's on the camper board on my storefront. But I love the size of it and the fact that they go down on top. It doesn't take up a lot of space on the countertop, and then it also isn't something that my girls can reach, and it packs away easily. Like I can just put it down in a basket or whatever, and I don't worry about knives falling out. It's very secure in the top, but also easy enough for me to pull out when I need it. It's super convenient. We're actually still going on our original knife set that we got when we were married here at home in our kitchen, and I really just need to go ahead and buy another set like this while Prime Day is going on, because hours in the kitchen are like so dull. They're really not efficient at all anymore. Okay, the next one is a 4-in-1 colander with a bowl set. When I tell you this is life-changing, it is life-changing. Originally it's $29.99 as well, but right now it's marked down to $21.24. So this thing is so neat, and I also love it for the camper, but I got two thinking I didn't know how much we would like need bowls for storage and for mixing and for straining and grating and all the things that this does in the camper. So I got two, and then realized we really only need one because we wash dishes after every meal anyways. So the other one I keep here at home. It worked out just perfectly. It's just really nice because the straining bowl nestles down inside of the mixing bowl itself, and then it pops out when you're not needing it to be a strainer. And then the top has removable pieces so that you can actually put different kinds of grater attachments in, and then you don't need like 50,000 different kitchen gadgets. I'm just a huge fan of that because we don't have a big kitchen, we don't have a ton of counter space, and then especially in the camper we don't have any space. So the more that you can condense and combine kitchen equipment, the more likely I am going to be to buy it. And this one I just really recommend. And then some other staple things like disinfecting wipes. You have the 3-pack of Amazon Basics, which are typically $11.29, and right now they're $9.58. So not a huge deal, but if you're looking at that compared to like the price of Clorox wipes at Walmart. So Clorox disinfecting wipes for 75 wipes per container is $5.52 at Walmart. And then the disinfecting wipes from Amazon, you have 85 wipes per container, and this is a 3-pack for $9.58. It's like $3.27 per container, and you're getting 10 more wipes. Like, come on guys. I'm seeing like the little lantern light is, I mean, $1 and some off. The broom and dustpan, which was originally $35.99, is now $21.29. It's 41% off. So definitely some good things on the camper page, but you know, those things carry over into your house as well if you're not a camper family. Let's check out the kitchen. So I'm not seeing a lot of Prime exclusive deals in the kitchen. The chairs that I have on my kitchen board in the storefront are marked down, but those aren't the actual chairs that I have. So I'm not going to personally recommend and give you my word for a product if I don't actually own it and haven't tried it myself. So I just tried to put like items on there because my chairs were like hand-me-down chairs and thrifted and things like that, but I wanted to have the whole style and aesthetic on there for inspiration. So those are marked down, but that's not me saying that they are great or reliable, but that's the only thing that I see being a Prime deal. There are other things marked down, such as the Am Chef espresso machine. I've talked about that on here before. I love Am Chef. It's originally $1.99. It's marked down to $1.49. There's an acrylic water pitcher with a bamboo lid. I use that for my creamer and really love it. It's originally $18.69 and it's down to $14.59 right now. Some glass jars are marked down a little bit, not a ton, but a little helps a lot. The electric teapot, love that. Use it every day. I've had it for a couple of years, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first got it, I thought this would be pretty and aesthetic on my countertop. I mean, we used it for tea here and there, but now we use it every single day. I love that it can sit out and be beautiful. I love that it works so very well. And yeah, so it's marked down from $55 to $39 right now. The Frameo digital frame is marked down from $70 to $50. I love my digital frame, and my mom and grandmother have one. I can send pictures to them. And then we have honestly just been getting one for everybody in our families. It's just such a good gift because nobody prints pictures anymore. As much as I wish that we did, we just don't. It's expensive to print pictures these days. So while a $70 or right now $50 frame might seem like a lot, it really is so much cheaper than trying to print pictures. If you print 50 pictures, you're gonna spend more than $50. This thing can hold so many photos, and it's so easy to just send straight from your phone to other people's frames that aren't even in the same house as you, or to your own, and I just really can't recommend that enough. Such a good gift option. And then the Am Chef juicer is marked down from $1.99 to $1.39 also. So I've still been loving mine. I'm still trying to come up with some different recipes. Some of the ceramic frying pans and cookware on there are also on sale, but again, that's not the ones that I have. It's just the ones that appear to be most like the ones that I have. So yeah, there's just some different things. I'll let you guys peruse my storefront and see for yourself maybe which items you enjoy or which items might be most useful for you in your home. Of course, I'll earn a small commission from anything that you choose to purchase through my storefront, but that's at no extra cost to you. So just a little disclaimer there. Also, stay tuned if you're on TikTok, because they have TikTok deals for days coming up if you're over on that side, and that is July 7th through the 13th. So there will also be some deals to look out for there. They already have a lot of great deals going on. 7th through the 13th on TikTok, 8th through the 11th on Prime. And coffee's getting low. Moving on to family updates. The biggest thing here is that my baby isn't a baby anymore. She's going to kindergarten in just a little over a month, and I don't know how we got here, honestly. With that, I never thought we would get here. I mean, really, since I started staying home full time, I thought we would homeschool. I'd never expected to be letting someone else teach her, which, not that I don't think other people are qualified, I just felt very deeply in my bones, in my soul, that we would be homeschooling. And then whenever it came time for like kindergarten registration and all these different things, I just really felt uneasy about not even pursuing any other options. We actually registered her for a local elementary school, public elementary school, right down the road from our house. It was like super convenient, less than a mile away, and I just heard from so many different people that it was like the elementary school with the best test scores in the county, and there were so many great teachers there and people that generations of their family have been well standing in the community for a long time. So I just had a lot of peace about it. But then also we had some friends at our half-day preschool that were going to be going to that school. So I knew that she would have friends that she's already made, and these relationships that have already been established as she moved into that next phase of life, maybe something that was big and scary, she'd have that like comfort nearby, or, you know, familiar faces at the very least. The issue with the half-day preschool situation is that and it's not an issue at all, but She thrives so much in a classroom setting. She is so eager to learn. She loves to be a part of community. And while you can have those things in homeschool, we don't have a ton of, at least not a ton of well-known co-ops in our area. And I did not want to rob her of that community, of that socialization. I don't want to say it like that's the issue that everybody has when they homeschool, because there are some areas and some people who are just very diligent about making sure that their kids are socialized. And I mean socialized beyond like Sunday morning at church and Wednesday night at church activities. Like, they are so involved with homeschool groups in their area, and that's how we would have to be if we did it. We may still at some point, but for me, I just could not find peace about what I knew was available in our area. And then I did find a lot of peace with public schooling. So we pursued that route, and we were registered. We were all set for that to be our future. And then our state of Georgia came out with the Georgia Promise Scholarship, because we knew that like a private school just was not going to be an option, being single income, and it's a law enforcement income at that. So it's not like we were making tons and tons of money to be able to support one child in private school, much less two in a couple of years. So that just was not really feasible for us. But the state of Georgia came out with this Promise Scholarship, where any family within a school district that did not have thriving test scores could be eligible to receive up to a certain amount of funding each school year per child to go towards either private schooling options that were on an approved list or towards homeschooling. And the intention is really to provide better educational opportunities for people maybe in income areas which cannot provide that for themselves. So at least that's my understanding. So our elementary school was not on the list because, like I said, they have some of the best test scores in the county as far as elementary schools go. But the high school that we would feed into was, I thought, we'll just apply and see what happens. The worst that they can do is tell us no. They did not tell us no. And I knew all along, I was like, it would have to be of the Lord's work if this all works out, because so many things have to line up. It's such a process. We'd have to get approved for the scholarship. There's a family interview that has to take place at this one school that we really feel good about. We would have to be accepted by the school. Everything would have to just line up perfectly, and it did. So now we are so excited and grateful, and if you think about it, it just makes me weepy. But she will be starting at this private school in mid-August, and I'm so excited. It's kindergarten through, it's actually pre-K through 12th grade, but the pre-K is only half day, so I don't know that our youngest will start there until kindergarten. But they don't have transportation for this school, so I will be driving a little ways to get her there to pick her up and those kinds of things. But I mean, they start every day with school-wide worship. It's a requirement. Like, they're not lax on that, because they say that, you know, everybody's hearts and minds are so different when they're prepared with worship first thing in the morning. And I just so admire that. There's just so many policies that they have that leave decisions in the parents' hands, and they just want to partner with us in in planting and watering seeds, both with her heart and foundations of faith, and then in academics and life skills. And I'm just very much looking forward to this school year now. Something that seemed so scary, and it still is a big transition for our family, but I feel so grateful and just so at peace with it. I just love how God did it in such a way that, like, we can't say that it was of anybody else's efforts. It was all Him, because Georgia Promise told me that we were deemed eligible, but that wasn't a guarantee of funds. And literally the school reached out to me via email and was like, hey, we got notification from the Georgia Promise Scholarship Association that your child is going to be coming to our school, and we do not have an application on file from your family for her to attend this school. So they were like, our deadline was actually like a week ago, but if you can get it turned in by this afternoon at 2 o'clock, then we can try to get the ball rolling and have a family interview set up soon. And it was all just very like helter-skelter there for a little bit, but we felt like, yeah, if this is a possibility, that would be what we feel is best. So we're gonna do what we can to see it through on our end. And everything went off without a hitch. It was just so smooth. As crazy and chaotic as it was still so easy, so smooth, so peaceful. And I'm just so thankful. So in the upcoming weeks, I'm working on putting together like a little back to school basket for Annie and a off to kindergarten basket for Rosie, and just some different things around their rooms to help make the processes easier. But I'm very much looking forward to how this is going to grow our family. I just can't believe that we have a child going off to school. Before I know it, I'll be sitting here saying we have one going off to college or into the workforce or getting married or whatever. It's just, oh, you guys. But it just goes to show that, like, the biggest thing that I felt throughout this whole process since February or March was just the Lord, the Holy Spirit pressing upon me to say, like, don't close doors, let God do that. And that was a big learning process for me and a big trusting process for me, because like I said, for the last several years, I have just envisioned us homeschooling. And then I started having all these doubts, and I was like, is this fear? Is this me feeling like I'm not qualified? Is this other people talking? Like, what is this? And no, at the end of the day, it was just that God had more planned, that He wanted me to trust Him with. And here we are. So, like I said, that's not to say that we aren't going to take it year by year, month by month, day by day. Like, at any point, we could still step away from this option and pursue homeschooling. So we're just going to take it child by child and one day at a time. But I'm very much thankful and excited. I just think that it's more and more a testament of His faithfulness to our family and just to who He is. And then what our family's been up to, I mean, a little bit of everything. Like, we've been doing all the summer adventures and we've been staying busy, and honestly, this is like so not according to my personality. I feel like I've become such a type B mom this summer, as I was kind of talking about in my recent vlog of like our settling into our summer rhythm or something like that. But it's really been so much fun. Like, we are so tired, but our hearts are so full, and we're just having a blast making memories. The most consistent things that we've been doing are working around our garden and working with expanding our chicken operation. I call it an operation. It's not really an operation. We have 9 chickens right now. 4 of them were just chicken sitting. We're getting tons of eggs from our laying hens. These are all laying hens. And then Nicholas has actually been working on building a chicken tractor, so that we plan to use for meat birds. I'm not sure exactly when he's going to order chicks from hatchery. I'm imagining it will be pretty soon after he gets the chicken tractor done. But with his crazy work schedule and our crazy summer life schedule, he's not had a ton of time to commit to actually knocking it out. So he's very eager to get that done, and I'm excited to see how that ends up going. But our garden flowers are doing great. They're starting to come in very, very full, and I just love that flowers are cut and come again. Like, crops are great, but not a lot of crops are cut and come again. So okra is, and that's why we always have an abundance of okra. But flowers are just so beautiful. So we have okra starting to produce. We've gotten some from that. We've gotten a few green beans, but green beans and corn honestly are struggling. I think it's because of our soil condition. I mean, I don't know. Crops are just hard, but anyways. And then we did raised beds with root veggies. So we did garlic, carrots, and potatoes, and those are all getting very, very close to harvest. So I'm continuing to sow seeds for flowers. I'm continuing to have more and more ideas. I want to start a little pumpkin patch later on, but I know that I also said that last year, so we shall see. But be sure to follow us over at A Piece of Eden for more specifics and details on the processes and like the going-ons of that side of things. I also thought we were going to have our first ER experience with a child recently, because following the 4th of July fireworks, our girls were like running up and down the big concrete stairway in the back parking lot at church, and we were trying to get all of our camping chairs and everything gathered up. Well, our youngest, Annie, fell face first, which she falls sometimes. That's being a kid, right? But I thought she just fell on her stomach, because it was kind of like the large landing between 2 sets of the stairway, and apparently her face caught the next step up, and so that's why, as you saw earlier, she has that huge gash just right between her eyes. At the time that it happened, there was not a ton of mess from it. the injury itself, the width of it was really only like a fingernail, if you can see that at all. It was so not thick at all. But as she came home and settled and kind of went to bed and everything, the next morning she woke up and I guess it had just kind of built up there. I checked on her several times after she went to sleep for the night and she never moved out of this one little position, so I trusted that like it wasn't going to get all over the place. She is absolutely not a fan of band-aids. I don't know any other kid like that. Our oldest, Rosie, I've literally given her band-aids for like in her Easter basket before, and she loves them. She loves to be covered in band-aids. I know a lot of kids like that. Our youngest, Annie, refuses any kind of treatment, and that extends to even band-aids. So I don't know. The next morning when she woke up, I was like, oh my word, maybe we should have went somewhere. But she says she feels fine. I mean, she went and tried to wake Nicholas up that morning when his alarm was going off, and he was like, how are you feeling? Talking about her head, and she said, happy. So I think we probably did the right thing, simply because she seems totally fine. But the more that it heals, the more we'll be able to actually clean it up and see what's there, and then start treating it to hopefully prevent too much of a major scar. But if anybody has recommendations on what to use, I know that I haven't looked into it, but I believe like lemon balm salve and things like that are really good for scarring and skin treatments. But if anybody else knows of especially natural ways to do that, please drop it below. I would love to try those out or look into them, because I mean, she's beautiful no matter what, but that's just a place where you cannot hide it. So I would love to try to prevent scarring as much as possible, but very grateful that it was not worse than that. I mean, it could have been awful, and as my mother-in-law said, it could have been her teeth, it could have been so many other things. I cried as much as she did, but even as bad as it was, it could have been so much worse. And then lastly, I just wanted to talk through some summer favorites, because these are both some things that people have asked me about in the comment section, and then things that I have just really found myself loving lately that I wanted to go through kind of rapid fire with you. Let me go get some recent thrift finds, because they're great. Aren't those so stinking cute? And they actually had both of the girls' sizes. Now, Annie says that these are too tight on her little toes. My girls hardly ever wear shoes. Is anybody else in the same boat? And when they do right now, it's Crocs. So like, who really knows what size shoe they wear? But every shoe is just made different, especially with my little Annie's foot. She grows so fast that she says these are too tight on her toes and they are a bit snug. But I was so shocked that they had both of my girls' sizes. And I mean, the bottom had some like dirt on them, but the tread is still great and the top still looks so pristine. I did send my mom a message before I bought them and said, you know, what if this were to happen? Are we going to have this major issue on our hands? She was like, I'll buy them. You need to get those. They're so cute. So she said, I will buy Annie a new pair if those are too small. They've been discontinued, so I don't know. She doesn't seem too upset by it, which is great, and we may just be able to like make it work with her picking out another pair that she really likes. But if you recall, we are going to Disney this month, so I'm really excited and hoping that maybe they'll wear those for at least one of the days while we're there. They're really cute regardless. Then I found these pajamas, which I absolutely love. They are so comfy, and I just knew as soon as I saw them, I was like, oh yeah. Which they always have sets separate, so I just kind of pieced these together. But they're the shirt is like Old Navy brand, and I think it's called Sunday Sleep or something is the I don't really know, like the brand within the brand. I don't know what you call that really. The pants don't actually have a brand on them, but I felt like they went together, so I'm really loving them. I've also found some other shirts. I found a couple of pieces for fall that I went ahead and washed, and I'm going to put away with my fall collection, and I'm just really excited to get those out. I feel like thrift stores, at least the one that I went to yesterday, which is my main one, I feel like they hold everything back until holiday weekends because they know that more people will be off work and out and about on those weekends. When I tell you they had so many good things, they stocked up for July 4th. And it was just all kinds of stuff. I mean, there were some kitchen things that I saw and loved but ended up putting back. There were clothes that I tried on so many of, and really when you look at the amount of stuff I had in my buggy and the amount of stuff that I left with, I exercised a whole bunch of self-control. I promise. Okay, my makeup routine for summer, really been loving that. I feel like I kind of look like somebody, but it's so little work, so little effort. It's excellent. So I just do concealer, foundation. It's like got some SPF in it, so it gives a little protection as well. And then I do pressed powder. I use my contour and blush brushes, but I don't like actually put anything on them. I just hope that maybe they still have a little bit left on them from when I did have stuff on them. Does that show how often I don't wash my brushes? Sorry. And then I do eyebrows, and usually that's it. I'll do like a little lip color that's kind of natural or some chapstick. But I put lashes on for you today, and I did do a little contour and blush, but typically on most days I do not do all that. I've also not been doing a ton of heat on my hair. So this was heatless curls from one of those like satin, what do you call those? Satin rope, satin wand, satin, I don't know. It's in my Amazon storefront, and I've done some TikTok videos about it as well, because I know that I'm kind of like late jumping on the heatless curl train. But what I love so much about it is I used to do it like headband style. That is not at all comfortable to sleep in. Lately I've been doing it unicorn style, and I love it. It also keeps this area from getting so flat, because when you do it headband style, this is like pulled this way, and when you do unicorn style, it's wrapped kind of like a braid, so there's more movement to it, if you will, and when you take it out, it's not as flat. So also really been loving some fun braid styles. Rosie let me do hers when we went on an adventure recently, so we matched, and it made me so happy. She rarely lets me touch her hair these days, other than like when we're washing it. So I really was loving life that day. But in general, I've just been having a lot of fun playing with braids. They're super practical for like gardening and housework and just being ready for any and every adventure, but they're also beautiful. Of course, my Voguish glue-on nails, I don't think I've gotten my nails done since like our wedding day. I don't know, it's been so many years. No, okay, so I went and got them done before we went on a vacation, like the year after we got married. So it's probably been like 7 years since I got my nails done. Are those not the cutest stinking things? USA, America. So I love the Voguish style nails because they're also linked on my storefront, but they have so many cute styles. So recently, before the 4th of July week, I had on like daisy nails, and I don't know, they just always have fun themed ones, and they're not always like super holiday specific, so it's not like they expire or anything, but I really love them and they stay on super well. And I always get the short nails. I can't do long, but I have people ask me all the time, like, what do you tell your nail artist, so that like what color do you tell them, and how do you ever choose your design? And I'm like, I don't have to do any of that. It's already decided. I just glue it on. Mosquito stickers. Who knew these were a thing? But they're really great. My littlest Annie gets eaten up when she goes outside, and so I got these mosquito stickers for her. Again, she doesn't like treatment of any kind, so I have to like kind of sneak it onto her back when I'm patting her back or giving her a hug or something. They really do seem to be effective when she wears them. I have started wearing them in the garden. I don't know if it's just because I have so many flowers this year, and so there are more mosquitoes, or if our grass has just gotten taller more often. Or we've had a lot of rain up until the last week or so. I don't know. Whatever it is, the ants and the mosquitoes this year are quite insane. They think that they're welcome here. So these repellent stickers have been very, very handy, and they were not expensive at all. For outside water things for kids, we've been loving our water table, obviously, and then also we have an inflatable water slide. It used to be my nephew's, and then he outgrew it, and it was at my mom's house. So I was like, hey, do you mind if we keep that here this summer? And she was like, no, please, it needs to get used. So we have been loving that water slide. It's only like a 6-foot slide into like a little pool of built up water, and we had this water day at school at the end of the year with a massive inflatable water slide. It had like 2 slides, a bounce house, and then the pool at the bottom with like guns to shoot water and all the things. So I thought my girls might think this is kind of lame, but honestly, they have loved it. So we set it up at least once a week, and they play on it for a solid hour plus. And I mean, if you have toddlers, you know that that is such a win. And they play so well on it together. Like if they're having a hard time getting along, I just blow that thing up. And it's kind of a lot of work to blow it up, to take it down, all of that. But for the peace that you get and for the reset that it gives to everybody's mental, emotional state, it's worth it. It's just worth it. I've also been enjoying some mid-morning skincare. So obviously not today because I got ready for this, but a lot of mornings I don't actually get ready until like 10 or 11. My husband's not waking up until a little after that time, so it just feels like our morning has not yet gotten going until about noon. That's when we start our day, which kind of drives me nuts, but also I'm trying to make the most of it. And with that, I've been doing some mid-morning skincare, and it's so nice, so refreshing. Just a wonderful way to, like, I don't know, to make me not feel so blah because our morning is taking forever to actually get started. I know that these have been all over TikTok as like some of the most trending supplements and whatnot. The ashwagandha gummies by Goli. I found these at TJ Maxx, and they're even cheaper than they are on TikTok, so maybe check TJ Maxx. When I tell you that these are so delicious, I want to eat the whole pack. I really do. I mean, they are so good. But also, I don't know what kind of voodoo is in those things, but it really does lower cortisol levels. And I know this because by like 24 hours after I took the first one, I was like, man, I just feel so not stressed. Like, I don't feel anxious. I struggle a lot with anxiety, and I don't like being on medication for it, so I'm not. But this just really helps me to feel settled and just so like easygoing. I'm not saying that it's perfect. I'm not all the time. Like, there's still things that irk my nerves, but that has really helped a lot. And someone told me that they could not do the texture, like it made them gag. I have never heard that from anybody else, and I can honestly say from my own experience, I have never ever felt that way about these, because like I said, they are so good. I could just eat the whole thing in one day, but I won't. I've been loving some BLTs. I've eaten one almost every day of this summer. Nicholas is like, your cholesterol level is going to be awful, but I don't put a ton of bacon on there. Either way, they're just good, okay? And I do like a brunch, so I'm not going to try and justify it to you guys. I just need you to know I'm loving them right now. Also, afternoon iced coffees have been so good. I'm trying to drink a whole bunch of water in between my coffees right now because it is so hot outside, and because I know that like we're running all over the place. It's necessary. I need to be mindful of that. But I have my morning coffee, and then I drink a whole bunch of water, and then by the afternoon I kind of treat myself with like an afternoon iced coffee. The great thing about a pour over is that you always have just, or at least we do, we always have just a little bit of extra. And because I'm only doing like 1 cup of hot coffee each morning, I pour the remainder of what we have into a mason jar and then just pop it in the fridge. And that way, for the afternoon, I have iced coffee. And it's just really good. I also got these little flour ice cube trays from TJ Maxx, and so that's a fun little addition to my iced coffee recently. It makes it just something fun and special. 90s country, it's made a comeback, guys. I don't know that it ever went out of style, but at least for me, I feel like maybe I just forgot about it for a bit, and like it's taken over by storm right now. People are loving 90s country at the moment, and I'm loving that they're loving it. So I've been reliving a whole bunch of 90s country. Along with that, I have been watching Beverly Hills 90210 reruns, like the OG Beverly Hills 90210. I know that there was a remake, and I enjoyed it when it came out, but I just, with all of this like 90s nostalgia, early 2000s nostalgia, I have been reminded of my childhood. And I remember waking up on Saturday mornings oftentimes and finding the little Just Add Milk muffins sitting in the kitchen, ready for me to grab and go and just like do whatever, while my mom sat in the living room and watched reruns of the original Beverly Hills 90210 and caught up on laundry because she'd been working all week and she had laundry to do. And I held those memories so dear in my mind now, and it's just things that were so simple, but they were so sweet to look back on. And now I feel like we just overcomplicate things sometimes. We overcomplicate housework and life and parenting and all of the things, and like the things that I treasure most from my childhood are things like that. You know, it's like, why do I make things so hard? But anyways, I finished my coffee, and for the most part, My very favorite part of this summer has been making memories. It has been spending time with my girls, going on adventures. Like I've said, this is their last summer of both being littles, and they actually had their first slumber party together at my in-laws' house night before last with their cousins who are also getting older. And when I went to pick them up, we ended up staying for like 2 more hours because the girls just kept running off and playing amongst themselves, and it was like, wow, this is so nice. Like, we are all just loving life and hanging out together, and like they're having a good time, we're having a good time. And I just feel like I've said before, I love the snuggles and the excitement and the newness of the baby phase. I love caring for someone who cannot physically care for themselves. It's such a precious thing, and I feel like I will always miss that. But more and more, I am being reminded of how much fun it is through every phase of their life. My mom has always told me when I had newborns, I was always like, I don't ever want them to grow up. I will always miss this, and I'll be so bummed once they get out of this phase. And my mom would always be like, Megan, I had so much fun in every season of your life. Like, every phase of your life was so much fun to me. It just like came to life each time that you got there, I got there too. And I can totally relate to that now. So thank you, Mom. You were right. Here I am. You were right. Do you hear that, Mom? But really, if you've hung around for this whole coffee talk, blessings upon you. I can get pretty chatty, and I just honestly am so grateful for everybody's support who has ever been around. If you like this style video, please let me know. Especially if you'd like a Q&A in the next few weeks. I would love to answer some specific questions that maybe you guys have. And if not, I'll just keep on doing what I already have planned. So be sure to keep an eye out for Prime deals that may come up closer to time that I will be making you guys aware of, and then also the deals for days on TikTok. I want to make sure that you guys know, I mean, it's a great time to have Christmas in July, either for yourself, a treat yourself, or in like a early Christmas shopping type of way. So that's kind of what I'm using it as. It's like a very early Black Friday. Wouldn't that be great if like by the time Christmas came and Thanksgiving came, like I didn't have to do Black Friday shopping because Prime Days had already taken care of all that for me? Just saying. So anyways, I hope that you are having a great day wherever you're at. I hope you're having a wonderful summer wherever you're at. And I just hope that you're doing really well. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you next time. Bye guys.